I'm just going to ask everyone in the audience to just see in your mind's eye Archangel Michael standing before you, and he has his hand over your head, and he's just pouring the energy of the sun over you. And just see this energy spiraling, and just allow it to flow through you, and breathe it in into all of your cells. Breathe it in into all your subatomic particles, into your physical energetic body, emotional energetic body, spiritual energetic body, your mental energetic body. Just breathe it in.
Wow, that's very powerful. And are we going to ascend with our bodies when these light codes come into our body? Are we going to have light bodies and ascend with our bodies, or are we going to ascend only as our souls?
Well, for us, it's going to, and then you have the solar eclipse, and also solar 25, cycle solar 25 at its peak. So you have all of these energies happening, which is creating a portal for the next time shift. If you want to create your timeline, then your focus, whatever you focus on, that's going to be your timeline, especially now, because the creative force is at a very strong peak with the solar 25. But the more inner alchemy you do and inner healing, the higher your perspective is, and you're able to see the others. And so each channeler and everyone is on a different level. And so it's all going to happen, and their truth is just so real to them that they think it's going to happen. Yes, it is going to happen in their world, in their timeline. And also, like I said, you can manifest inner alchemy. You can bring the solar flash to happen faster in your timeline, speed up your timeline. Questions. Your spirit guides, you have to ask them, what can I do to heal this? What must I master? What can I do to speed up my timeline? You have to ask them, because they won't give you any freebies.
So essentially, we all are going to have different realities based on the dimensions that we are on, and based on the work that we do in this ascension, is my understanding from this now.
And we're
Hi, this is Akanksshaa. If you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. If you resonate with me, please like, comment, and share. Welcome to Multidimensional Soul Podcast and a Talk Show. On this show, we talk about deep spiritual and mystical experiences of people which we normally shy away talking about. We are more than our physical body. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. And we discuss how a soul exists on multiple dimensions. We discuss science, technology, and spirituality point of views and perspectives on this show. Our purpose is to open our minds to limitless possibilities and our hearts to love, and shine the light within bright. Our guest today is Cyndi Molano. Cyndi is a certified astrologer, spiritual coach, and angel channeler. Her expertise is Zodiac sign angels and angels of the day. She works on angel magic education and benevolently improving your life with connecting with hundreds of benevolent beings. She's a singer, she's an artist, and she paints angel art. Cyndi and I had a very different conversation. Cyndi and I talked about her Catholic upbringing and the difficulties and challenges she faced as a child, how she was miraculously then guided to a book, and she got trained by Master Kuthumi in his etheric school. She had a very, very massive chakra and kundalini awakening and activation, and she was kind of destabilized because of that, because her nervous system was not exactly ready for that at that time. So she shared all those experiences, how Master Kuthumi and Archangel Michael held her hand throughout this and helped her stabilize that energy and that activation and integrate it in her physical body. So she talked about all those experiences, which were very, very miraculous and very extraordinary. And she calls Archangel Michael as Michael. So you will find in this episode that she calls him as Michael. And she talked about her astral travel, her travel on Pleiadian UFOs, and how she works with angels and ascended masters. We talked about Ascension and multidimensional existence. And she has actually an urgent message for all of you and the entire humanity, because we discussed in depth how the timeline split and the multiverse, and what can you do to ascend with the help of this knowledge. This is an urgent message, so watch till the end, stay tuned till the end. We have with us today Cyndi Molano, all the way from Austria. A very warm welcome, Cyndi, on Multidimensional Soul Talk Show and a podcast. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
If you're watching this and you have not watched part one, I highly recommend that you watch part one of this conversation, where Cyndi talked about her spiritual journey, chakra activation by Ascended Master Kuthumi, Kundalini activation by Archangel Michael or Michael, her Pleiadian connections, wisdom from Master Kuthumi, energy changes and ascension, inner alchemy techniques, solar flash, and Archangel Michael, and how to experience solar flash. And we are going to continue this conversation in part two. And this is where actually she explains the urgent messages and why is it important to choose wisely so that we can get aligned with higher vibration timeline and ascension. So keep watching. And it's a very, very, very important point that you mentioned, that there are parallel universes, and how we are going to experience these downloads and the solar flashes are up to us. And we need to align ourselves with that timeline, with the inner alchemy. And that is very important. So you talked about Ho'oponopono, using Ho'oponopono for forgiving others, and that's how aligning yourself with the timeline. And then you will get the solar flashes and the downloads of light codes and from the sun, from Archangel Michael. So apart from the Ho'oponopono that you said that you work for inner alchemy, are there any simple guidelines that people need to follow to align themselves with the highest vibrational timeline?
Yes, and this is a very easy blueprint, but the 72 Zodiac Angels. This book, I did not write it. It was written by Ben Woodcroft, and he also wrote this, Angelic Trance Magic. And this is the ancient Kabbalistic way to invoke an angel. And this one knows how to pronounce their names better. I always ask the angel, is that the correct way to pronounce it? But you can see my videos for free on my YouTube, on my live streams, and I connect with them. So when you, each angel, this is the methodology. There are different methodologies, many different methodologies, but this is one of the ancient ways from the Hebrew culture coming out. So you connect, and I don't see anyone talking about this. This is the download that I received from the angels. They're all about inner alchemy. So you connect with them, you invoke them, and there's a way on how to invoke them in the book, or you watch my YouTube and you'll find out how. And you ask them a particular angel, especially, say, for instance, you have difficulties with your mother. You find the angel who has her birthday, okay, each angel has about 4 to 5 days that they represent in the zodiac. And you invoke that angel and you ask that angel to help you, the energy between you and your mother, to release all the dark, emotional, dense energy that and experiences that ever happened between you and your mother. So you say, please deliver this message to her soul and her higher self. And then you say the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. So it helps to continue saying that, because if you feel like a victim from your mother for whatever reason, you might get lethargic. You might start crying, but that you keep saying it until you feel good. And you can work with the angel for several days or so until you feel like you've released it. But something also happens after you've done that work. One, you might get a fever, you might get sick, you might get stomach flu, because the spiritual body wants to cleanse itself. Okay, so you cleanse the spiritual body, but then the physical body wants to follow. So just letting you guys know, this is what happens. And so you do it step by step, and it helps if you want to do someone a specific point because it's an elephant in the room, you can do that. But it also helps if you just go through the year step by step, because then you know, you check it off. Okay, I did that angel, I did that, those degrees and stuff. And also, a lot of people don't know that you can also ask them to heal any kind of trauma that happened on those days. And I always say through all time, space, dimensions, and reality. So I'll ask the angel, please help me heal all dark emotions, all negative based emotions that ever happened during your days, and through all time, space, dimensions, and reality. So you're covering past lives and everything. And so if you have a lot of karma on that day, you know, because every time those days come, either you're depressed, you know, because someone died on that day or so. And so you're able to clear and heal those degrees. And what I also do is when I'm going just degree by degree, I can also ask the angel, if I'm just throwing the net out there, to please deliver the Ho'oponopono prayer to all the people whose sun, moon, and ascendant lies on their days and degrees. And so when you do that through all time, space, dimensions, realities, yes, you might get sick after it. You might get a headache, especially if there's a lot of dense energy exactly on that degree. And so this is the secret, and the angels also help me decode the story between the Egyptian story between Osiris and Seth, where Seth cut him up into 14 pieces, put him, first he tricked him to go into a coffin. And this story is very symbolic to our, what we're doing here, the descension of humanity and the ascension. So Seth, it was also known as the Satan, and so Osiris was known as the king in the higher dimensions, like the 5th dimension. But when Earth was descending, that is the story of Seth and Osiris being put in a coffin. And so that is saying that when we incarnate, we forget who we are. We forget our godly self. We feel like we're trapped in a prison. And then he threw him into the Nile, is how the story goes. And then he drowns in the Nile, which we are thrown into a water planet, and which is Earth. And there's a lot of negative emotions here and 3D emotions for us to go through, but we forget our divine self. That's all part of the game. And so then Seth finds the coffin, cuts them up in 14 pieces. That's also very symbolic. Now we know of the 12 constellations, and lately, as I think about 8 years ago, we now know of the 13th constellation, which is Ophiuchus, and that's between Scorpio and Sagittarius. That's the 13th constellation. And so so we are activating our chakras and our 13 chakras, and then we start activating more of them. But there is a 14th constellation that we don't know about, that I got a download from, because in the decoding of Osiris and Seth, they couldn't find his 14th part, which was his manly sexual part. And so they said a fish swallowed it, a fish ate it. And that is the download I received, Pisces. It looks as if Pisces swallowed it, because the universe is like a hyperbole universe. And that is why we're starting to see Ophiuchus expand, because as we're moving in, we're seeing Ophiuchus more. And as we go and we're into the 5th dimension, that's when we're going to see the 14th constellation that is missing. And the 14th is really another sacred number, because right now we are carbon-based atoms, which is 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, 6 protons. But when our atoms are silicon, then it's 14 protons, 14 electrons, 14 neutrons. And so the number 14 is very symbolic to our ascension. And when we have that, that's when we're going to see the 14th constellation come out. And so, yeah, it was the dissension. And so the story is collecting the 14, but she only found 13 at that point, because you could still see Ophiuchus back then, but then we only saw 12 constellations. And so that is the understanding of then Isis and Nephthys went looking for all the scattered parts of Osiris to put him back together again for a short time so he can ascend again. And then she bore a child from him, but then he had to go back. She created a fake part so that she can have a baby. And so that is also another part of the story that I was shown, is that back then, a lot of beings were having children. The fallen angels, they say, they were fallen angels, and they were having babies. And a lot of these babies were big giants, and they were very, very negative, and they were like eating the humans and things like that. But now it's the opposite polar of that storyline. Now we are also having, a lot of people are having babies with higher beings, with etheric twin flames. And these babies are being taken into the 5th dimension, taken out of the womb around 3 months. And these babies are going to be trained. So when we enter into the 5th dimension, these are going to be the leaders, the ones who are then going to have the ability to connect more to humanity. And so that is also another download that I received. There are a lot of people who talk about having etheric babies. I'm one of them. I have 6. And so I see myself on UFOs a lot, where I'm taking care of my baby. And so that when I come back, I feel like I want to go back to my baby. And so, yes, this is also in my astrology chart, because I have South Node in Cancer in the 8th house. So it shows that I have an etheric connection, etheric twin flame, who gives me babies, and the South Node in the Cancer shows this. But that is why I had to go through the isolation of I had to feel the third energy, the third dimensional energy of being torn apart from my mother, running away from the mother, and then I was able to have a golden lifetime for 13 years with my children and my husband. But then when my South Node came back, that's when everything fell apart because I graduated being able to create luxury. I had a villa, I had a good life, but it was time for me to go on a different journey of spirituality. That's when I started to have these connections with spiritual etheric twin flame. For people who are not into astrology or angels, they have their own gurus or ascended masters that they would like to connect with. You can connect with them. If you're Christian, you can connect with Jesus. So this is a universal energy where you just each day you can do the Ho'oponopono prayer and ask that entity to help you align yourself and that they deliver that message of, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. So it helps. This is a way for anyone to do it with their spirituality. It is a download that I received because I'll show you, this was a past life. She was again, she also knew Archangel Michael, and she was Lakota. That was my past life, Lakota. And she also did this. She went under the stars and she did it this way. She just asked the spirit God or universal Godfather to just heal her and all of her wounds that were ever made on that day under those stars or under where the sun was. And so that is an organic way to do it. So everyone has the ability to do this step by step every day.
And how long do you recommend that they should do Ho'oponopono every day?
Well, it's all about releasing and making sure to release it. And when you still feel that there's something there, you need to continue. Okay. For some issues, it may take longer, it may take a month. And so you just continue doing it. I like to tap on my heart a lot. And especially if we are, because sadness and depression tends to be stored around the lungs. And so it helps to tap it out if you're wanting to release and let go. But you ask them, help me release it, pull it out. You're working together with whoever you're invoking, whether it's Jesus, Buddha, whoever. Work together with them and see it in your mind's eye so that you're doing it. And this is a way for everyone to do it. And the more people who do it, the faster we will then shift. And I really want to share this part. There's a lot of war going on. And if enough people healed their ancestral energy from war, we will go faster into peace because we're adding it to the collective consciousness. So it helps to release the ancestral energy of war through all time, space, dimensions, and realities. And you can ask Archangel Michael or Jesus or whoever or God to help you release it. Yeah.
So, like 10 minutes every day, 20 minutes, 1 hour, how long do you recommend?
It depends on each individual what they can. So a person, of course, you have to be flexible, what you can. And if you feel like you'll know that there's still something there. If you're still being reactive, and if you're still very reactive or you're still hungry to see what wars are happening, you still have something to release. When you've released it, you just don't want to see what's going out there on there in war. You're all about wanting just to be in your balance. And that is the best way to heal the world, is to first heal yourself.
Right. When you talked about timelines and you mentioned about parallel universes, and one of the ways to align with the highest vibration timeline is to do this very powerful Ho'oponopono and heal yourself out of Apart from that, when there are multiple timelines and every single day we have that choice, because there is panic and fear being created by media, and there is so much chaos happening, like wars are happening and a lot of things are happening around the world. In such chaotic world, what can we do to again choose the proper timeline? Because what I understand from channelers and psychics is that some of them say that all of us are going to ascend into 5D as Earth. Some say that the Earth is going to be split, and some say that it's going to be physically split. Some say that there is not going to be any physical split, but we will have physically, we'll be staying all of us on the same Earth, but people who are at different vibration will be in different dimensions. So what is your understanding about these parallel timelines, parallel universes, and what is exactly going to happen about the split of Earth?
Wonderful question. So all of these prophecies, they're all truths. Yes, it's all going to happen. And so if you have to choose, but you also have to be in alignment with that frequency. So there's even a very, very dark timeline of zombie-like kind of people, because there's like all sorts of timelines. Yes. And if your energy is fragmented, especially that people need to understand the things that you eat, if they are fragmented with, that is also making you go in that way, because the foods that you eat, that are fragmented, that are very toxic, it is affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Therefore, you will go into that fragmented world where the air is being fragmented through atomic bombs, okay? And war, fragmentation, even because they are breaking it more down. But if you are trying to go into the path of oneness, we are all one, and you're doing everything to go on the path of oneness, then you will, where there's no duality. That's the fifth dimension of no duality. But you can only go into that timeline if you are becoming one, like, inner healing, and you become one. Yes. But if you have a lot of karma and you're fighting with all your brothers and sisters, fragmentation. If you're eating bad food, Taurus, fragmentation. It becomes very fragmented, and boom, that's your reality. And what they don't understand, because when they get the message and it's just so like, wow, it was real, that was so real, and it becomes their truth, and they think it's everyone's truth, but it is in their matrix. You see, in their matrix, they're going to see it happening for everyone. But for those who understand, and we're just like an eagle looking down, we're able to see another perspective. So all of these, it depends how high you are. Even people who are angel channelers will think, oh, Archangel Michael told me this, therefore it's the truth for the whole world, for their whole world, for their matrix. And the more you are healing the ancestral war and stuff, you're ascending more, and you're looking through the eyes of your higher self, and you see, oh, they still have inner healing to do. Okay. And so, yes, there will be that matrix. They will see their whole world happening in this way. But the more inner alchemy you do and inner healing, the higher your perspective is, and you're able to see the others. And so each channeler and everyone is on a different level. And so it's all going to happen, and their truth is just so real to them that they think it's going to happen. Yes, it is going to happen in their world, in their timeline.
That's very
Right.
profound. So essentially, we all are going to have different realities based on the dimensions that we are on and based on the work that we do in this ascension, is my
Yes.
understanding from this now.
And we are now at a time where in 2024, this timeline split, another, because we keep going through timeline splits, and there's another one happening. There is what people call a second moon. It is a meteor that's about 33 feet long. They call it 2024 PT5. And it is maybe 5. Okay, the moon is next to the Earth, and the distance that the moon is from the Earth, it's like 5 times away from the Earth. Okay, so it's pretty far out there, but it's going around. But it came in about 2 days before the eclipse. So you have this little moon going around, and then you have the solar eclipse, and also solar 25, cycle solar 25 at its peak. So you have all of these energies happening, which is creating a portal for the next time shift. And this little mini moon is from the 29th of September all the way to, I think, the 25th of November. So definitely 25th of November. And so this is an energy portal where it's very important for people to stay away from looking at the news, stay away from, this is just what I'm counseling or giving a tip to people. If you want to create your timeline, then your focus, whatever you focus on, that's going to be your timeline, especially now because the creative force is at a very strong peak with the solar 25, the solar cycle 25 at its peak. So it's so important to stay away from the news and align yourself, go into your middle, make yourself happy, think about how you wish the fifth dimension to be for you. Try to manifest, oh, this is what I want for me when this happens. And so if you're thinking about, oh, this is going to happen, it's going to be so cool, I'm going to meet the star family, yay. That's what should be our focus, is the future of when the solar flash happens. So what do you want to happen? And also, like I said, you can manifest inner alchemy. You can bring the solar flash to happen faster in your timeline, speed up your timeline. Don't wait for something to happen outside of you. You can speed it up. Everything happens in here first before it happens outside of you. Okay, so in regards to wanting to ascend and to have the knowledge be given to you by an angel, you have to ask them. You have to ask them lots of questions. Your spirit guides, you have to ask them, what can I do to heal this? What must I master? What can I do to speed up my timeline? You have to ask them, because they won't give you any freebies. And so, yeah, when a person is channeling, they may ask them, they have to also ask them, what is going on here? But then they answer them according to their timeline. But the questions are very important. You have to really make a big list of everything you want to ask them so that you may get your goals done in life. Okay, so it's very, very important. The questions are important because it's part of the game.
Wow,
Yes.
that's very powerful. And are we going to ascend with our bodies when these light codes come into our body? Are we going to have light bodies and ascend with our bodies, or are we going to ascend only as our souls?
Well, for us, it's going to look like our normal body, but vibration changes mass. when you're working with Archangel Michael and you're doing a sun initiation, or when the solar flash happens, you're changing your mass. And so when the solar flash happens, it can be that we're starting to become that, and we are already the caterpillar inside the larva and the cocoon. We're already in there, and we're all mushy, and but the butterfly is supposed to pop out. I can't say that our carbon-based atoms do not resonate on the 5th dimension, where the people have 14 electrons, 14 protons, 14 neutrons. So there is supposed to be some kind of like a metamorphosis going on there, where we then
Mutation?
Yeah, like a mutation.
Okay.
But it is also something like quantum jumping or so,
Okay.
where we look at ourselves and we still see our physical selves, and we just quantum jump into where our atoms are no longer carbon-based atoms. And so that is what can happen with the solar flash, and that's when the big timeline split then happens. So all the people who have their metamorphosis is going to, and it's going to look, I don't know all of everything that's going to happen, but what I do know is that they are preparing me. They're telling me they're going to prepare me, and I'm supposed to be a galactic ambassador, and they're preparing my nervous system to be able to stand before them. So I'm also being prepared a lot by always being in the presence of Archangel Michael, because all I feel is just bliss, and so there's just a couple things I still need to work on, and then they will come for me. But what they share to me is the solar flash has to come first, and then they come for me. And so that's when the timeline splits, and we're able to do lots of things. But Mother Earth is still she needs to cleanse herself, and there's going to be a lot of shakings. But because I have released myself from the trauma and earthquakes and all of that, natural catastrophes, I've also had to heal myself from that. Okay, so that I don't have to go through that. So it helps to release yourself from going through a lot of difficulties regarding natural catastrophes. So you don't have to live it.
Okay. Can we do a very short healing for everybody who is watching this on our channel?
Archangel Michael told me is to invoke all the archangels. Because I'm already very aligned with them, I really don't need to do the invocations. This is for the people who never been in contact with angels. This helps. This is like a telephone book to their frequency. So I'm just gonna call on the archangels, and Archangel Michael said that he can bathe everyone in the solar energy, because I asked him, can we do that?
Yes.
To speed up our timeline for the solar flash?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
please. Yes.
All right. So I can just say it out loud, the prayer. Yes. I call upon Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael. Okay, he's here. I call upon Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael. Okay, that has to do with the physical body. He's with the mental. I call upon Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel. Okay, he has to do with the emotional body. Okay, I call upon Archangel Auriel. Archangel Auriel. Okay, and he has to do with the communication and the thoughts, and so a lot more. So I'm very grateful for all of you archangels being here. Thank you so much for hearing my call. I wish, my request is that you bless all the people, all the viewers who are here. If they have any requests regarding their physical health, that you hear their requests, or any requests regarding them needing help in their life, that you can be there for them and assist them in their journey if that is their request. And is this request okay with all the archangels? Okay, thank you. Archangel Michael, you shared with me the night before that you are willing to bathe everyone in a sun initiation. Is this request okay with you? Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to ask everyone in the audience to just see in your mind's eye Archangel Michael standing before you, and he has his hand over your head, and he's just pouring the energy of the sun over you. And just see this energy spiraling, and just allow it to flow through you, and breathe it in into all of your cells. Breathe it in into all your subatomic particles, into your physical energetic body, emotional energetic body, spiritual energetic body, your mental energetic body. Just breathe it in. So, and just thank Archangel Michael. Be grateful for this energy. Allow it to flow through you. Allow it to connect. Let it flow all the way down through your feet and into Mother Earth. We want to anchor this solar energy from Archangel Michael that he is initiating us, and allow it to go into Mother Earth, and then connect with Mother Earth's energy, and allow Mother Earth's energy to come back up and through our feet and up into the sun. So you are connected by both, because this is the way to speed up our timeline for the solar flash to happen. Initiating us through the sun, bathing us through the sun. I just now asked Archangel Michael if that was all he needed to do, and he said yes. So I thank you, Archangel Michael, for your sun initiation for all of us here. I'm very grateful. And also asking Archangel Raphael just to shower your green ray light upon us, and bless our physical bodies. And Gabriel blessing our emotional bodies, and Ariel blessing the air element with us, our spiritual, our thoughts, and to be there working for people deeper, because it's not a overnight thing to heal things. It can be much, much deeper. So thank you. Archangel Raphael, thank you for hearing my call. As you have come in peace, please go in peace. Amen. I thank you, Archangel Gabriel. As you have come in peace, please go in peace. Amen. I thank you, Archangel Auriel, as you have come in peace, please go in peace. Amen. I thank you, Archangel Michael, as you have come in peace, please go in peace. Amen. Okay, that was all for. Okay, super. You can open your eyes when you're ready. So I just want to share with the audience that the angels, the archangels, they want humanity to take responsibility for their inner alchemy, because it's much deeper than that. That's why I did it short. But you can still every day ask Archangel Michael to continue your solar initiation. Go into meditation, and it could be an hour, though I must say, he's activating your brain, so it's going to be painful. And so also to work with Archangel Raphael, ask him why certain body parts are hurting, because we tend to store things in our body, emotions. And so you need to look at your demons in the eye and to forgive, release, let it go. So when you're asking an archangel to heal you, yes, it just doesn't, it needs a whole lot more, because you're not taking responsibility for your actions and all of those things. It's similar when a person's eating lots of junk food and then they're sitting at a hospital and asking all of the people to lay hands on them and heal them in Jesus' name or in God's name or so. And we are at a point in time where they want us to be more responsible and to grow up spiritually. And so doing your inner alchemy is your way of growing up. And so, yes, they will help us, and they can help us to release pain. And so, but they want us to look at why that pain is even there. Okay. And so when you can always ask the angels, ask your guides, why am I hurting? Please give me dreams. You can ask the angels to work with you. And for people who are very interested in working with the 72 benevolent Zodiac angels, you can also ask them, okay? Because each one has virtues regarding love. Why isn't love working with you? Also, they help you to heal relationships. So each angel has something a virtue, whether you're wanting, even archangels, if you're wanting to have out-of-body experiences, there's an angel for each of them, okay? For each thing that you're wanting to manifest with your life and your abilities to be able to have different clairsenses. So this is a very good book if you're interested in angels, but I'm sure there are also in different cultures also ascended masters that you can also work with.
Yeah, so. Thank you so much for that healing. It was beautiful, really. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have a few questions that I ask my guests. It's like a rapid fire. Can I ask you those questions?
Yes.
If you have to explain multidimensional soul to a common person, how will you explain it?
A multidimensional soul?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A multidimensional soul is when you are aligned with your higher self and there is no time, there's no space. You're able to disconnect from time and space, and you are more aware of your divine godly self to become in different places all at once, because there's no time, there's no space. Yes.
Beautiful. What is holistic well-being according to you?
Holistic well-being is aligning yourself with your bringing balance to your mental, body, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's all connected together.
What is ultimate purpose of life according to you?
The ultimate purpose of life is unique to each individual. For a person to know what their ultimate purpose is, they need to align themselves with their higher self and ask, what is my mission here? What is my ultimate purpose for being here? Everyone has a different purpose. And so one cannot be judgmental of a murderer because they may have a reason for another person to awaken. And so a person may come down and sacrifice themselves to be a negative person or negative road for another person to finally get it and wake up.
What is love according to you?
Love is when you have learned to love yourself first. Every subatomic particle, everything, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. When you learn to love your stomach and all the organs inside of you. And when you learn to love yourself, that's when you're able to show that to others, to the universe, and you're able to do that for the earth and the animals. But you first need to love yourself and remove fear. And therefore that is my answer to love.
Okay. And where can people find you? How can they contact you?
I'm on YouTube, spiritual coach and astrologer Cyndi, Cyndi. And my email is ucstarastrollies@gmail.com.
Okay. We will give all the details in the video description. It's been absolutely a pleasure having you here as my guest, Cyndi. And you're doing such amazing work in helping people, uplifting their consciousness and in the ascension. So grateful to you for that. And thank you so much for coming here.
I thank you also for having me. Love and light.
Thank you for watching and listening in wherever you are in the world. As Ramdas says, that we all are just walking each other home. So thank you for co-creating the new earth along with me and our guests. And if you resonate with me, do subscribe to my channel and do let us know how you find our episodes. Thank you so much. Lots of love.